Headshot central right here.
You aim for the head.
Well, we are talking about zombies.
Why haven't you played that for blood yet?
Wait, why haven't you played Back for Blood yet?
Alright, so I downloaded it.
Okay, I remember.
And it took a long time to download. So that couldn't play it that night because it's a big game.
Right.
No big deal. So then didn't get back to it for, I don't know, a week I think. And then went to play it the second time and then had a 2 gig update, which is bullshit because all my systems are set up to automatically update themselves all the time, every fucking night, every time you turn them off, everything. Yet for some reason the Xbox just decides that it's not going to care about auto update anymore and doesn't update any of my things, including the system itself. Yes. And I've reset the system, I've turned off all the settings and re-enabled all the settings, all of those kind of things. But for whatever reason, it just will not ever auto-update.
So, it's funny you actually bring that up, though, because I've been having a lot of problems with Xbox as well doing the auto-update. In fact, it doesn't want to at all on any of the games until I go in and click updates, and then it's like, oh, you got like 5 that you need to do. So don't play those games.
Yeah.
Which is really bad when it's, I don't know, been a week because life's happening and you can't get on your Xbox and you go to play a game and the first game you play or want to play, update. Okay, well, that's fine. I'll play the second one.
And it's only the newest and most common games that are being done, so no matter what your friends are playing, you can't join in because your system doesn't update itself like it's supposed to. And I think it frustrates me more than ever because, like,
that's their selling point.
One of their selling points. Like, when you go to update things, a bunch of things in, like, PlayStation, it just stops everything. It will not allow you.
You are not to do out like that.
You open the door
Still
and
a buster.
Still a
rest you immediately.
Like, a lot of other consoles don't auto-update, and they say they don't, and they don't, and it's fine. But if you're going to tell me you auto-update, you better fucking auto-update.
And see, we brought this up a couple days ago, and I was like, maybe, because I've been having the same issue. I was like, maybe, like, settings fucked up or something like that. And so I spent almost an hour digging through all my fucking settings and trying to, like, figure out, and it's all set up to auto-update.
Yep.
But it doesn't.
Yep, I did the same thing. I spent like an hour, I searched all the forums. There's forums everywhere about people talking about it not working, and nobody seems to have any advice on how to fix it, other than the same 10 steps. Oh, make sure it's turned on. It's turned on. We verified. Still doesn't work. Oh, did you verify that you turned on the setting? Yes, we've turned it on. Still doesn't work. Oh, same thing. Over and over. Circle.
Well, it's funny, too, because I've also run into Xbox having this issue where I went and pre-ordered the moment Elder Ring came available on Xbox Live to pre-order it. Went and pre-ordered it. I was like, perfect, I want that game. I've been wanting that game. Error. Nope, can't do it. That's weird. Still shows me the price of the game and everything, so I click it again. Okay, just needed a reset. As it loads...
It just charges them $5.
No, better yet, it comes up and says, you already own this game. I went, oh, I already own it. Cool. It was just a minor glitch. No. It wasn't anywhere in my Xbox. It wouldn't let me already start downloading it. It wouldn't let me queue it. It wouldn't let me go and manage it. It still showed the cost of the game, but anytime I clicked on the cost of the game, it would then tell me that I already owned it.
Did you turn it off and turn it back on?
I did turn it off and turn it back on, and that's when it finally didn't reset on the marketplace, but finally queued it that I can manage it.
Well, doesn't it, don't you also have an issue with trying to get Game Pass right now?
Yeah, I can't get Game Pass. I'm either banned from Game Pass or something, because anytime I go to purchase it, it tells me I can't. Like, doesn't say, like, it gives me just a straight, not available to your user base. Just straight, you can't do this. So I don't have Game Pass. Y'all got Game Pass.
Yeah, and I think it's great.
I love it.
I don't think I have it.
You don't have Game Pass. I already know this.
Rookie, get it. Play more games.
Who has the time?
You.
You make the time.
Yeah, that's one thing I've been running into. I've got to the point where I'm like, I am going to make time to play games. Because if you don't, like, it's the same thing with like working out and reading. I'm trying to set aside time to make sure I read every day.
Yep.
And it's just, if you don't do it, then you won't.
But back to the fuckness that is Xbox. What the shit?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, well, you can't just say Xbox. Every console has its issue.
I mean,
Yeah, but when you're the greatest fucking console on the earth, yeah, I fucking said it. Deal with it. You are held to a higher standard.
it is one of the best. I still think the best console, only because it's as simple as it is the Switch. And the only way to make the Switch better is if they just put all of Nintendo's back catalog on it like they did on the Wii.
Well,
It's the only thing that would make the Switch the best system. It updates automatically. It never gives me issue. It's not... It's difficult to find friends because you need the stupid friend code and all that
yeah.
shit. It's got more hurdles than Xbox, which Xbox invented it first, so it makes the most sense why it's as simple as it is. But it never breaks, and it always works. The connection I've never had a bad connection with anybody that I've ever played online with. Mind you, I've played with many people online.
I mean, that's where it comes back to, is that their online isn't great.
Yeah.
Xbox is a leader in the online back in the day, so yeah, theirs
I
is
still
the
think they are
best.
today,
Always has
too.
been the best.
I
Like-
love my Xbox Live compared to PlayStation Network. Xbox Live is.
Can we just agree that the PlayStation interface is just fucking garbage?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like,
200% actually.
the
Like,
fucking...
it's so much garbage because it's the PS3's interface, just with a refresh, and I'm sure the PS5 looks the same way. So it's 3 times the amount
But
of trash.
it's in
300%.
4K, so you can woo!
4K garbage is still garbage.
Like, the amount of people are like, oh, the system looks so good because it's in 4K. It's literally the same thing you've always had, just slightly different graphics.
You know what's funny? They say, "Oh, it's better graphics," but they have the same fucking TV.
Yeah.
Like, you know what my favorite thing is? It's better graphics, but then everyone just goes and does what we're doing right now. It just plays the games with the slight refresh paint coat. It was never designed to be in 4K. Nobody cared. It would still play the same way. I'd still play Ocarina of Time.
Oh, yeah.
It wouldn't matter on a 4K TV with a non-4K system.
Also, wasn't there studies that prove that our eyes can't see in 4K, so what's the point?
Yeah,
Something
See,
like that?
I think honestly like the 1080 piece was like the cap of what our eyes could actually capture.
The benefit to the new systems for me,
Oh, that was cool.
I think, is more not so much the resolution and all that, or the refresh rate, but the processing of it is
Like
because
12 teraflops of power.
Teraflop power.
Still don't
'Cause-
even know what a teraflop is.
I mean, is it,
But it's got 12 of them.
It's
when a
12 floppy
pterodactyl
disks. No, it's 12 floppy disks taped together. Get it, race car driver?
But like, for an example, when I first got the Series X, was heavy into Destiny. I did
My
a.
condolences.
I'm
You
sorry.
missed it. You missed the checkpoint. You
Uh,
missed the checkpoint.
had a freaking emblem. Had a emblem for my Ghost. Playing it on the one, I totally forgot about it because it never loaded. And there was stuff that was happening in game that I never saw because the processing couldn't process it fast enough, so it just didn't load it.
Is this
To be
like one of those
fair, your
issues
one
where
was
you
like
have
an
an
issue
old...
one?
I mean, I also just generically one of the best things about consoles, in opposed to PC, is that it's always consistent. The Xbox One is the Xbox One. Make the game that works with it.
Yeah.
More and more, they're making these games that do not support the hardware they claim that it will, and then lo and behold, we can't do it, but we've put out a patch for the next gen, so just go buy the next gen instead.
Well, what's really funny is he found out Xbox, so they're making all these series optimized for the Series S and X. If you have one of those games and you have one of the just basic external hard drives, you cannot play that game from the external hard drive. It has to be on the solid state drive that is in the device, or a solid state drive.
Or the expansion.
Yeah, you would
they
need.
have.
Yeah, because I have the expansion one on the S, and that expansion one gives me the ability to store things on it. But I have an external that I plugged in, trying to just not have to download games again. And yeah, not a single one of them would actually play.
I could
That's
play
good.
all the games that were not optimized or solely for the X on off the hard drive, but anything else, and that's the problem, is those games like Back 4 Blood and Destiny and all that, those
Are now
take up a
optimized.
huge fucking chunk of memory.
That's another thing just about all of the consoles that are coming out that I'm now like super baffled with.
How we're still stuck at a terabyte.
Well, so even the brand new Switches that are coming out only have 32 gigs, and they're going to all download. So I don't even fathom how that's going to work.
My Switch, I have a terabyte stupid micro SD. They make it. So you're telling me you can't put like 7 of this big a chip in the giantness that they've made a fridge out of an Xbox Series X?
Or at least just have the bays so that I can do it. If you want to make it cheaper, so it's not $700 for just memory, great. I'll go buy it. I just need the option.
I think it's more of like a security thing.
Is it a security thing, or is it just keeping you having to always buy more memory, like he's saying?
Well, you got to think about it. By the time the next gen for Xbox comes out, you'll take half of your memory that's in the X for one game.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at a game that was on a disc. If you look at any old game when you go to download it to your Xbox, the most it usually is about 20-something gigs.
Mm-hmm.
The new game, Halo, basic Halo 5 is 120 gigs.
Yeah.
Any Call of
How do you
Duty is
run?
almost 200. You
Yep.
tap the or hold the bottom.
Tap
Button.
B fast.
And it's for like almost no reason, because the new Halos aren't longer than the old Halos. They don't have more levels. They don't have more pretty much anything. The only thing that's really different is graphic level. So you're telling me that because they wanted to upgrade the graphics, we now have to have that much more space to hold it?
Right.
When again, we're playing Vice City right now, and we don't care that it's not the best graphics on the planet.
And to be fair, it's even hard to tell that they refreshed this one. Mind you, it is on the Switch, so I don't know what it looks like on a 4K, but
Also, the only thing I've had an issue with Xbox is I bought a new controller, and it was just an Xbox controller. It didn't say that it was for whatever system. But I think it is optimized for the new systems, not the old one. So
you
now
can tell by the D-pad, so it's upstairs. The D-pad's the difference. If it looks like a regular D-pad, just up and side, that's for the Xbox One. If it's the one that has like the little webbing between your sides, that's for the Series X and S. But yes, that is stupid.
But the thing is it didn't say that. Like, this is for Series S. So I bought it because I was like, I need a new one because my 2-year-old is a monster. And you bought me a really gay controller for Christmas.
I bought you a really awesome controller. That pig was the coolest.
Yep. He got me a cop controller.
Yep, cop controller. Baconators.
Anyways, so the fact that the website didn't say, hey, don't buy this if you have an Xbox, like this Xbox versus this one. So I bought it and now it disconnects, and it's like, I spent $60 on a controller to have it like randomly disconnect. The fact that I'm going back to the one that my 2-year-old destroyed because it plays better is super fucking aggravating. It's like, just fucking put that on the website, and I would have bought the old one instead of the new one. And they would have still gotten the same amount of money.
And, like, let's be fair, Xbox pulled a dick move by calling it an Xbox One Series.
Mm-hmm.
Just call it something else. Just call it the Xbox S or X. That's totally fine.
What the fuck? I was doing so good.
Tell you what.
Especially for things like Christmas and shit like that. Like, when I worked retail, that was like the number one question, is people were confused between a 360 and a PS3, and they couldn't tell the difference. Now you got shit out there. Does this work? Like that controller. Someone gets a controller for Christmas, and oh, thanks.
I felt like it made me feel fucking old.
Well,
You know, when you go up to the person, you walk up to the person and you're like, hey, do you know how to turn the volume down on your phone? And they're like, oh god, that person's fucking old. That's how I felt. Does this Xbox controller work with my Xbox?
Excuse
And
me, young man.
I mean, that's where they also is like, in theory, they're all backwards compatible. So the Xbox Series X ones should work on the Xbox One, but they don't work very well for some reason. And so you have a controller, now you get frustrated that it's not working, so you just go buy the new console instead.
No. The opposite. I went back to my shitty controller and I went, fuck Xbox, I'm never buying any of their shit again.
Oh, no, don't go that crazy on it. I mean, Xbox is still the best system out there.
You were just talking about how the Switch was better.
Yeah, for certain things.
Here's the Xbox is the better console. The Switch is the more portable console.
Come
Switch
on.
wins because it's portable and I can take it anywhere.
I like
And it
that's
has
the
most
only
of my
reason
favorite-
it's-
and it has
I
most
like-
of my favorite games on it.
I like Nintendo's philosophy though. You don't have to have the best graphics or the best stuff. You just have to have fun games.
Well, and they have some great games of their own, but a lot of the other games that I want to play only come to the Xbox or PlayStation. So then I don't get torn. I think they're starting to make a push, which they should have done a decade ago. But they're starting to make a push to get more of the
Well, considering
large
this-
games on the Switches and whatever the
having
next console's
these
gonna be.
three Rockstar games on the Switch puts it at like the, let's see, 7th. They only had Manhunt 2. They didn't even have the first Manhunt on the Switch, or on the Nintendo system. They put Bully on the Nintendo system. Never a Grand Theft Auto until now. It's the first Grand Theft Autos that have ever been on it.
Well, I mean,
So that puts it at 5.
Well,
and part of the reason that you're having that problem is because there's only 32 gigs of memory on their internal drive. Nobody wants to make a game for it because
Well,
can't
it's meant at
support
work.
it.
YMCA.
Of course, this is your favorite spot in this game.
I was gonna make a joke about there being a soldier, a construction guy, a middle shirt
They're
missing
doing the
dude,
YMCA.
and an engineer.
You leave the village people alone.
It's a firefighter, a biker.
What is it?
construction
Is it
worker, a
Wayne's
cop.
World? That they get all dressed up and do it?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
That's a straight Wayne's World scene.
I don't have any weapons.
And
I need
even
a
that's
gun.
after the village.
But
The sweet package he's got there? Or
Yeah. It is a sweet package you've got there.
I'm just thinking like
Okay.
it's designed obsolescence or whatever.
And I mean, I know we
Kinda,
have to upgrade
yeah.
at some point, but the fact that it's just the graphics are what's causing you to have to upgrade your system, or the fact that they rename their shit to something that's confusing, which then frustrates you, and then you just go buy the new system. It's just kind of annoying. It's a shit way to do it. You should be selling me on the, I don't know, sell me on the game that I want to get that's only optimized for said system. Like, that's the way it used to sell a system.
like Halo.
I think
Halo, God of War.
I think that's the thing though is like what's the last big game